Alrighty guys, welcome back to Easel Does It Studio. So we've got some new resin to play with. So Bond Craftor had sent me the regular epoxy resin about a month ago, and I've been really enjoying it. So they asked me if I would like to try their deep pour, and I was like, absolutely. So this is their deep pour. It is 3 gallons, so you get 2 gallons of part A and 1 of part B, because it is a 2-to-1 ratio. So you put 2 parts A to 1 part B. So that is what we're going to be using today. So let me just get this other one out of the way for right now. So this 3-gallon kit comes with these 2 measuring cups, which are 500 mLs each, which is awesome because we always can use more cups. Then it comes with 2 of these paddles, stirrers, 2 of these, and 5 pairs of gloves. So all that comes in the kit with the instructions. So let me just move this over here because I'm going to put that in my supplies. So, again, 2 parts A and 1 part B. Mix thoroughly for at least 3 minutes, stirring in clockwise, scraping the bottom and the sides, just like everything else. Let it sit for a good 5 minutes before you put it into your mold. It can go from 2 to 4 inches thick. So that's huge. But the other thing that I thought was really awesome for a deep pour is it's dry after 24 hours, guys. 24 hours. And cured after 48 and full hard after 2 to 4 days. So this is going to be amazing. And, you know, then again, all the ingredients of both process pieces and some suggestions. And so this is what we're going to be making today. So let me just move this out of my way for right now. And I kind of started to play with the way I wanted my little tabletop to be. So I'm going to take everything out. I'm going to wipe the mold out, and I'm going to pour 32 ounces. This mold holds 160 ounces of resin, guys. So my first layer is going to be 32 ounces, which brings it up about a quarter of the way in the thing. Enough where I can get my flowers to stay in place. And then I'm going to come back and we'll pour another 32. I'll see how it looks. I might do a little more, but I'm really anxious to try this. I've been wanting to do one of these for a long time. I have been scared, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to have the resin. I got the molds. I've had these for a couple months, and we're just going to go for it. So what I'm going to do is my first layer, I'm going to tint it kind of a blue, but still translucent. It's still going to be transparent, but I want it to be somewhat of a bluish first layer, and then all our other layers will be clear. And I will probably, maybe in the top coat, I'll put a little bit of crushed crystal. I'm still weighing that out right now. So I've got my cups because it's 2 to 1 and my brain just doesn't function to calculate it in my head. So we're going to go to here, which is going to basically be 15 ounces. So if I do 2 of these containers for the first layer, I think we're going to be golden. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And we'll see how this comes out. So I'm going to take everything out of here and just move it to the side. Now, you probably noticed I am at a different angle and a different location because I needed to make sure that I had a flat surface. So, yes. So I'm going to just pull some of these out. You know, they're probably not going to go back in exactly where they were, but I kind of know now where I want it. I don't know how these are going to do in resin because they have a funky texture to them. So yeah, we're just gonna go with it and see. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of put my little pieces together so that I know, all right, my leaves are all here and my blue pieces are here and all that stuff. And then I will go ahead and I will get the resin mixed up. And then I will be back and we will pour and put our flowers in. So as soon as I get my resin mixed up, guys, I will be back. Okay, so I've got it mixed up and it's been sitting for, this one's been sitting for 5 minutes while I mixed this one. And yeah, I'm mixing them together, but I want to be able to get them as close as possible in color. So I've ended up, I'm going to go with sapphire blue. And like I said, I want it to be a tint. And I know this is going to look like a lot, but it is a lot of resin. All right, so I dug out my taller stick so that I could stir. I got my heat gun ready so I can knock down any bubbles. You have almost an hour of work time with this, guys. And while my resin was setting, I looked, and right now on Amazon, if you want to get the 3-gallon kit like this, it's $159.99 for 3 gallons. So that is really, really good. And the 1 gallon that I just got, I believe that one was $38.99 for the regular epoxy resin for a gallon. So their prices are real reasonable. So I know this looks dark, but once I pour it, it won't be so dark. And then I do have some clear over here that I'm trying to figure out how am I gonna, I guess I'll keep it in case it is a little too dark. I don't know. It'll all mix together anyways. So let's go ahead and let's start getting this poured. I am going to, I wiped it out as best I could, but them flowers, that glitter on those, that was like brutal trying to get that off of this mold, guys. So that might have not been a smart move on my part, but this is going to be the bottom. So normally I would be doing it upside down, but for this particular one, I'm doing it face up. So the top of it is going to be what we see. So they're really, you know, the demold isn't going to be that spectacular because you're going to see all the layers going on. And that is just some of the alcohol ink that did not mix thoroughly. I've already got something in here. All right. And now I'm going to pour the clear because it is a little bit darker than I wanted, but that's fine. Actually, I should have kept this to coat my flowers, but too late now, guys. All right, so let's just get this mixed up. And I got something, it's a piece of flour. So let's get this all stirred in. So this is a nice low viscosity resin. It's very thin, so the bubbles are going to come out of this really, really good. All right. Let me put this over here. And we're going to wipe our stick off because I'm trying to not get resin all over the top of my my toolbox here. All right, so I am gonna run this around, get some bubbles out. This is my biggest project, guys, I've ever done, so say a prayer that it comes out good. All right, I got a few little floaties. Let me grab a little dotting tool here so I can a couple of little hairs. I mean, there's going to be more things floating by the time I get my flowers in here, but move that bubble. So this is going in my dining room. All right. So I am gonna just go around this edge because it looks like there's a few little bubbles that are wanting to cling. Oh, and I got a hair. Come on. I have my hair even pulled back. I'm probably sticking my head under the camera here. All right. Okay. Oh, here we go. So. I have been so excited to do this. You don't even know, guys. I have been wanting to do something like this for a long time. All right, so so, and as you can see, I'm putting all my stems towards the center. So that way our flowers are going to hopefully cover cover all those stems. So, and I'm putting some underneath the others and some on top. My word, I swear I'm shedding. As bad as my dog. All right. So, get them submerged. So I couldn't use the big roses because they were still too high. If this comes out good, I'm going to buy the 20 or 24 inch tray like this. So I have two of these this size. For some reason I thought I bought the 20 and the 14, and no, I had bought both the same. All right, so I want some in and some out on this green. All right. And I will babysit this for a little while. You know, once I get all my flowers in, I will just kind of keep coming down and seeing if there are any bubbles or anything like that that I have to try to work out. All right, so before I do any more, I'm going to work on getting some of these bubbles that I can already see. Okay. So I know as I'm adding these things in, there's going to be some bubbles, but I'm hoping because it is such a thin viscosity that it's going to just work their way out. And I want that more over this way. So I don't know how these are gonna show up through, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's gonna look okay. Come on, bubble. All right, so maybe I'll, all right. So, these ones are making me nervous. These ones are really making me nervous because I don't know what these are going to do. Let's see, do I have a single? I do. Let me just try a single one here and there just to see. I don't think they're going to show up, so I'm not going to put any more. I'm only going to put those two, and we'll see how it goes from there. All right, so this layer here is basically just gonna be getting set into the resin. The next layer, we're gonna be putting the resin over it. And I kind of thought about maybe doing like a couple of layers, but because we can go 4 inches with this resin, I'm like, you know what, let's just go with it. All right, so that one is not wanting to cooperate with me here. All right, before I add any more, let's bring in some lighter colors. Kind of in between. And then the fun part is going to be finding something that's big enough to cover this whole piece. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the plastics from one of my canvases, like my 16 by 24, because I know it'll definitely be big enough. And All right. Now, the trick is to leave it, or do I add them last 3 flowers? So that blue actually was a little darker than I actually wanted, so I'm glad I did have some of the clear. But I think as we build the layers up, I think it's going to be fine. Turn this one around. I think that was the problem. It was going in the wrong direction. Alrighty. I think we're going to stop there, and I'm just going to babysit it for a little while, and then in the morning I will come down and we will put at least 1 or 2 layers. I mean, this is only 2 inches deep, so I should be able to pour the whole thing. It's just a matter of making up enough. So, and I'm just trying to see if there's any other like little baby's breaths that I could add. There. Alrighty, guys. That is it for this layer. I will find something to cover it, and I'll keep checking on it for like the next hour just to make sure there's no, you know, apparent bubbles showing up. Just to make sure. All right. So I will see you for the next step, guys. Okay, guys. So we are back. It has not been 24 hours yet, but we can put, it's like not even stringy. It's still soft, but it's not stringy. So I mixed up 2 containers, so there's 32 ounces. So I'm just going to mix a little bit of the crushed crystal in it to give a little bit of sparkle. So we'll mix this one up. So all I've done is mix it up. I did not run it through my debubbler. So I figured I'd at least come on and get these next 2 layers poured. All right, so that might be a bit much. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just we're gonna pour everything into this bigger container. And that way we can tone that down just a little bit. I mean, I want some sparkle, but I also don't want it to overtake the piece, if you know what I mean. All right. So, because like you can see, there's a lot of sparkle in there. So, we're just going to... And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe these cups out so that I can use them for the next layer. Which I'll probably do off camera just because, I mean, it's just going to be boring. It's going to be the same, just pouring the clear. So, but I figured I'd at least show this next step, because I can actually fill the rest of this, because you can go 4 inches with this resin. So I might actually even do that. I do want to make sure that it is nice and domed though. All right, so we are just going to start getting this poured in. So in this layer, I'm definitely going to have to watch more closely because, you know, we have these flowers, which will produce some bubbles. So I'll probably mix up 2 more cups like this, but I will not put the crushed crystal in, and that way it will hopefully mix and tone that down. So I'm just going to keep doing layer after layer until we get this full, and then I will be back and we will unmold this, even though you'll already know what it basically looks like. But hopefully we won't have any sanding to do because I'm doing it this way. So yeah, I'm going to use my heat gun, and we will just kind of get some of these bubbles knocked down. And like I said, this is going to take 160 ounces of resin. It is unbelievable the amount of resin that it's going to take. All right. So I will continue to fill this up, and I will be back on demold, guys. Okay, guys, the moment we have all been waiting for. Wow, has this been a long waiting process for me. So I started this, I believe, Friday, and it is now Monday. So altogether, I did, this is 3 pours altogether. It's 176 ounces of resin that I used. So let's get this unmolded. And again, I want to say thank you to Bond Craftor for sending me this resin because it is amazing. Hang on here, I'm gonna raise my table up so I can stand up to demold it because this is heavy. It is really heavy. So I'm hoping and praying that I don't have to sand. All right, so come on, little guys, get over here. All right, so this is the back, or the bottom, I should say. And this is our piece. So you can see it is still very transparent, even though that blue looked dark. The only thing is my sparkle dust. It sank. So I am going to have to give this a top coat because this edge is a little bit sharp, but let me see what it's going to look like once I use the deburring tool. All right, come on. All right, I'm just gonna roll it. Must have had a defect in my mold. There's a little defect right there. All right. So I guess I do not even have to, I don't have to top coat, guys. It came out amazing. So I'm gonna go put it on the table that it's gonna go on, and I will get you some final pictures. And let me just see if I can like zoom in so you can really so see how there's just a little bit of like a wrinkly on the top. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a small top coat of tabletop resin. But look at that. That came out amazing. So, I mean, you really don't see like that little bit of a wrinkly. It's just if the light hits it just right, but you can't feel it. It's like completely smooth. So, yeah. All right, so let me go get it into place. I will get you some final pictures, and just because I want to see what it's going to look like. And then I'm just going to give this a light sanding and a top coat, and then it will be done. So I'll probably film that just so that you guys can see the process. So I will get that done, and we'll go from there, guys. I'm so excited. It came out so good. Now I'm scared to top coat it because I don't want to ruin it. I will tape up my sides because the sides don't need nothing at all. So I'll be back and we will get this top coated, but I am going to go try it on my table first. So I will be back in a bit. Okay, so it looks great on the table, so I was pleased. But I had to put my table, I had to turn it upside down, which I'll show you that in the final pictures. So what I'm going to do, because there's no bubbles or anything, there is only one right here. There's like, oh no, where is it? There's one spot where there is like a hair, which you can't even feel, but and because it has that little ridge line or whatever, so what I'm going to do is I have a 2000 grit sandpaper, and I'm going to just wet sand the top only, just because I don't, there's no bubbles or anything I'm trying to get out. It is just to give the other layer of resin something to adhere to. And I chose this method because I was going to originally go outside and try and get it sanded, but it's like 40 degrees. So yeah, that would not have worked very good. All right, so let me grab a paper towel, well, a shop rag, just because these don't leave lint. All right, so now it looks like I just ruined it. It's got scratch marks everywhere, but the next coat is gonna make the difference. So I am just going to tape my edges. So if any of that does run down, I'm not getting it on the side of my piece. So that will just, and then I will recenter it once I get the taping done. So, and the reason that I'm doing all the steps on camera is so if anybody wants to try doing this, they kind of know what to expect. Because this is my first one doing it, so I was really, really nervous, guys. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous even with the, you know, putting that final top coat on, because I've never top coated anything this ginormous. So I guess, and the key to this part is making sure that your piece is level. And just getting that right to the edge. And I got a little piece sticking up here, which I don't want. So I'm just gonna peel this up and bring that down. There we go. All right, so that is better. And doing a round object is always harder to tape than something that's square. All right. My tape has a wrinkle in it, so it keeps breaking. All right, last piece. Last piece going on. All right, so now I am going to move this out just a bit. So basically I'm just using my pigment containers to hold this up. All right, so there we go. We are right in the center. All right. Ah, that's where that piece of hair is, so hang on. Because I want to sand that a little bit more. All right, might as well just go back over and give it one more. Quick little all right. And I'm gonna get some rubbing alcohol. And we're just gonna give it a good wipe to make sure that there's no dust, no particles. All right, I'm gonna check level again. And we are good to go. All right, so I'm gonna get my resin mixed up and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So what I'm using is, it's the super clear tabletop epoxy. I've had this for quite a while and I've never used it because I never, you know, did anything really deep or something that I just needed a top coat. So this is the Bond Craftor resin, which is also food grade, and the tabletop is also food grade. So I hand mixed it because I only made 4 ounces, and this is a little bit thicker viscosity. So I got my torch out. I had my husband fill it, so I'm just going to, we're going to put it around, and I'm hoping I can get all the bubbles out because my debubbler will not do anything this thick. So all right, so before I use all of it, not knowing how much I need, I am just going to tease it to the end, the edge of the thing. Guys, I am like so nervous because I don't want to break the tension on the top that holds it to the edge, and I don't want to put too much, but I don't want to put too little either. And then we will torch the bubbles out, and hopefully by spreading this out thin, those bubbles will start to pop on their own. Basically, we just want to get it right to the edge without it going over. That surface tension should hold it right there as long as there's not like a bubble or anything else for it to drip down. Or if you get any resin on the side, it will drip down. So you definitely want to make sure that there are no edge bubbles because it will go down. Yeah, listen to me talk like I know what the hell I'm doing, right? This is my first one, but so I almost had it going over there for a minute. So I'm just basically just pulling that to the edge, and then the center, I will probably use my hands to spread the middle. Now, stupid me, you know, this is my first big project, and I did not protect my workbench underneath. So, holy God, say a prayer that I don't get it going down the outside edge. So I really didn't even need to tape it because I had no bubbles, but I just wanted to make sure that if any did go over, that it wouldn't break that surface tension. All right, just want to go around. I want to look. I know my head's probably in the way, guys. I'm sorry, but I just want to make sure that it is to the edge all the way around, and I don't want to move my piece because I have it leveled where it's at. All right. And then if I have extra, I will make something, but I don't believe I'm going to. Because this is already like, you know, thickening up. And that's the difference in a tabletop versus like a regular. And this has a high UV and a scratch resistant. And because I'm going to be having my plant on this, I definitely want that extra security. Bond Craftor does have a tabletop coating epoxy, and I probably should have got some of that knowing I was going to make this piece. But I didn't think of it, and yeah. All right. So let me wipe my hand, and we're going to torch it, and I'm going to just watch to see if anything starts to pull away. Because if it starts to pull away, then you need more resin on there. All right, so just making sure there's nothing going over. That's from the other day. Okay, so nothing is going over, and that is looking really good, guys. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to, like in 10 minutes, I'm gonna torch it again, and just to make sure that there are no bubbles. Now there are a few little bubbles that are underneath that were already in the resin, so I can't do anything with those, but I don't mind that. And I just don't want anything to get on it. And of course, my heater is right above. So, let me... So I'm just trying to look like at an angle to see if I see anything or any bubbles. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put my heat, I'm gonna take the swing off of my, my heater so that it's not gonna blow down on my piece. It'll just blow out to the room. All right. That way there, it's not gonna blow down on this piece. All right. That is looking fantastic, guys. I do have a few little bitsy things I'm just trying to get off. All right, so that is it. So the next pictures that you will see is going to be this is done, because all I have to do is peel the tape off and it will be on my table. So this will sit here until tomorrow or late tonight, 12 to 24 hours. So, and it takes 3 days for it to be fully hard. So I won't set anything on it for 3 days. So yeah. Alrighty, guys. Wish me luck that no bubbles pop up and I can keep this piece as gorgeous as it is. Alrighty, guys. Stay tuned for the final pictures.